Welcome back to another episode of Six Picks Music Club, a music podcast for people who understand the importance of changing the HVAC air filters. Hey, everybody, I'm Dave. I'm here again with my favorite folks, Russ.
Hey there.
And Jeffro.
You switched the order.
Yeah, well, it's a new year. We're changing things up. What do you? I thought we would try it a little fresh. What? Is that okay?
No, it's fine. I just was making a note.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted to see how it felt. But welcome back, listener. This episode we're ringing in the new. God, I can't talk today. This new year is hard for me.
Are you nervous, dude? Do you need a massage?
Yeah, I would actually love a massage. I'm so tense. I'm seeing this chiropractor, but anyway, not like a three-way seeing him, but just like going to the chiropractor.
Does he make you wear that V-neck white tee that you have on right now?
No, I picked this one out for myself. I was pretty excited about it. If you're wearing a button-down shirt and you're not like buttoning the button all the way up, because I can't do that. I'm too 90s kid to wear the shirts with all of the buttons buttoned up without a tie or something. I can't do it.
Yeah, you're not a psycho.
But if I have like the regular t-shirt, the crew neck t-shirt, then it's got like the little white ring and you can see it, so I get the V-neck so I can, show a little bit of my neck and my collarbones and stuff. Okay, well let's settle back down before we get too crazy. Let's just open up the clubhouse. What's the password this week, Frodo?
I think it's organ donor kebab.
That's nice. Yeah,
It's gross.
I really like the marinade you have the organ donor kebab going with. All right, well, come on in, listener, and anyone else that's here today. We're excited to have you back. Let's get into the clubhouse, find our space, and pull up a chair. We got a fun one today. We are being that it's the new year, and we're not really talking about resolutions per se, but we are looking back at some of our favorite songs that talk about regret, but also looking forward with some of our most hopeful songs. Hopeful's a word that I don't say enough because I'm rarely hopeful, but that's just the darkness I live with. How about you guys?
I think I'm an optimist.
Wow. I think, I'm an optimist. I live in a nice house, so that's pretty good. You know?
That is cool. That is cool. It's
a real leg up.
We do feel very fortunate to have pulled ourselves up by our parents' bootstraps to be where we're at.
I pulled myself up by my butt straps, which not a lot of people do anymore.
That takes a lot of strength in the anus. I'm always impressed. Always impressed with you, Jeffro.
That joke would have killed with my kids. They just anything but or whatever, just immediate huge laugh.
Yes. Oh, of course. Yeah.
All butt stuff for them.
All butt stuff all the time.
Well, I mean that makes sense with your son. We know what he does at school, so.
Oh man, so my oldest is in the midst of doing a project at school, and we had to go to fucking Michael's of all places to get the supplies. And I've got these two girls and they're great and I love them to death. But like the older one is pretty cool about things and the younger one feels like she's getting left out of everything because she sees everything big sister's doing. And she's like, oh, I can do that too. So I want to do that. But well, you can't because you're not doing a project that needs a diorama about the Cherokee Indians, girl. Your sister is. So like, chill out. I'm not buying you slime at Michael's right now. That's not what we're here for. We need supplies. So, it's just so disorganized in there. I can't.
It's interesting that you mentioned Michael's. Wife and I went to Michael's just yesterday, and we were getting.
So wait, do they have Michael's in Canada?
Yeah, it's called Michel's. So we're in
stupid.
Michel's.
Oh god,
that's stupid. So we were getting assorted house decoration things, and wife needed some gold spray paint, metallic gold spray paint. So I go to the spray paint part, and it's like it's behind bars.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks
lock and
like
key. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
exactly. And because there are all these restrictions about spray paint, and they're worried about kids buying it, etc. And so we get assistant up there to unlock it, and it's a pretty heavy padlock. We're talking, this is serious business. They open up the cage and get my one little bottle of gold spray paint. I was like, thank you, and I grab it to walk off. And the woman goes, I'm sorry, sir. I've either got to escort you down to the register on the first floor. We were on the third floor. On the first floor, or I can just take it down there and it'll be waiting for you when you get there. And I was like,
Oh no, no way.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't really work for us right now. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, just because if you take it or you escort us, I'm not going to have a chance to huff it on the way down there. And she was like, but are you? I was like, yeah, well, I was planning on just getting a quick sniff, maybe in the elevator or on the escalator, even just when nobody's looking. And she was like, so shocked because they've never had anybody huff in the store.
Right.
But why
Right.
would you have the in the store rule unless you're worried that somebody's like off to the side just plugging a couple of woofs of metallic gold spray paint? Yeah. That's good.
In the past, we've done every person gets a pick, and I think because we're all doing a regret song and then a hope song, let's do all the regret ones first, get those out of the way, and then we'll end with hope. We'll end on a positive. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna go first because I just decided, and the song that I picked for my regret song.
Selfish.
Yeah. Well, fucking deal with it. You can kiss my butt. Nobody says that anymore. It's like, kiss my butt, dude. Kiss it.
Yeah.
my
I also liked, remember Eat My Shorts? That's
Yeah.
so awesome. And we just left that
We let it go. We just,
in the 90s.
bye.
Yeah.
Just, Bart Simpson, that's yours.
Eat My Shorts. Yeah.
In 2010, The National released their fifth album, High Violet, and the track that I picked off of it is Blood Buzz, Ohio. That's kind of hard to say.
No, it isn't.
Well, fine.
Blood Buzz. Blood Buzz. Blood Buzz. Blood Buzz. Blood
Ohio.
Buzz.
Okay,
Easy.
you win. You win. If you're not familiar with the band, they're this kind of dark indie rock, brooding, foreboding, introspective band that was really hot in the late aughts and early teens of this past decade or so. And it's led by a singer named Matt Berenger, and he has recently done some work with Taylor Swift, of all people. He produced her last record and sang on some of those tracks. So for our Swiftie audience, this is a band that is connected to your gal. But this song came out in 2010, and it's because he lives in New York now. He's moved to New York, but he's from Ohio. And so the first lyric is like, I was carried to Ohio in a swarm of bees. I never married, but Ohio don't remember me. And it's this kind of looking back at your past and kind of you're feeling something like your history or family, and it's like it's in your blood, and so he's having this moment where he's in New York, and he doesn't feel like an Ohioan anymore, and he doesn't feel like a New Yorker because he's only been there for just a little while. He's seeing himself in this space where he's kind of in between worlds and having regret about love and life and family. How you're from somewhere, but you don't always love it there. You don't love the people there. Like, you're a different person. Like, we drive through Amarillo when we go to Denver to visit my parents, and we stop there because it's halfway. And I was born in Amarillo, but I don't ever want to grow up there. Like, I don't ever want to. I look at that and I'm like, man, if we hadn't moved in 1987, like, I would be a different person. And so, like, this song is like hits home for me for a lot of reasons.
It makes me feel regret because one of the first lines is that he's standing at the foot of her love with his shirt off, and I'm like, oof, just standing shirtless in front of a woman in your middle age. Tough one.
Is regretting not hitting that gym.
Yeah, I'm regretting that extra turkey sandwich after dinner.
A turkey sandwich. A turkey sandwich that don't care about me.
And he's like the kind of dude that you feel like he's just always had half a bottle of wine when he showed up. He's just always like right there in the space of it, you know. Just really.
Weren't the National wearing shirts that said "Sad Dads" on them in the last tour that they were on?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Sad Dads.
That's hilarious.
I think so.
It is sad dad music for sure. For sure. But I do love the song. It's got a really kick-ass sort of musical breakdown about halfway through that is just raucous and loud and very much that Phil Spector kind of wall of sound piece. And I don't know. This song kicks a lot of ass and I love it.
It's one of my favorite National songs. Yeah. I wouldn't consider myself a big National fan because there's only so much of the
sad dad.
Yeah, the sad dad that you can really put yourself through. But this is a good one.
And I would also say that if you haven't seen this band live, they're a very different band live than they are as you might hear them on their record. Because, like, I did not expect them to just, like, be so rock and roll when we saw them at Lollapalooza that year. So that's me on Regret and the National. Russ, I think you should take us next.
My song of regret is called Heal Me by Sarah Shook and the Disarmers. River Shook, known professionally by their birth name Sarah Shook, has been making music professionally since 2010. They were born into a Christian North Carolina home and raised in a wholesome manner that taught them to do everything virtually the exact opposite way they eventually did it. Homeschooled and only exposed to worship music at an early age, Sarah rebelled when they got the chance, and their first band was named Sarah Shook and the Devil.
'Cause fuck them, right.
Rock and roll.
In 2015, they started Sarah Shook and the Disarmers, and in 2022 released an album under the name Mightmare, which is Shook's solo project. The new Sarah Shook and the Disarmers album, Revelations, will be out in March of 2024. The song before my pick, off the Sidelong album called The Nail, fixates on their lover's drunkenness. The line is, "You're never ever home, and when you are, what was once a happy home becomes a bar." But they soon find the bottom of the bottle themselves by the next song, which is my pick, called Heal Me. Heal Me is a great song about despair and regret and misery. To say it's bleak would be an understatement. Shook's vocals throughout the song embody a complex blend of self-loathing and defiance. They carry a mournful undertone echoing the ache of a lifelong regret, while simultaneously exuding a resolute strength and refusal to be broken. It opens, and you know exactly what you're getting from this song.
There's a hole in my heart, ain't nothing can fill.
Right. But I just keep thinking, surely the whiskey will. Later in the song they sing, "I got a hole in my heart 'cause I've been doing wrong. My whole life long, I've had a bad feeling. I got a wound so deep inside me, my whole lifetime ain't enough time to heal me." Shook has a raspy and edgy voice with these broken yodels that show vulnerability. This song, and really the whole album, is a celebration of messiness, as Shook openly exposes all the ugly parts of themselves. They face the booze, the drugs, the solitude, the shame, and the despair in an almost punk rock mentality. But they do it with a loud, old-school country attitude that doesn't glamorize it, but rather reveals it for the harsh reality it is. It's the brazen delivery and the defiant attitude that are a testament to their willingness to challenge the norms and push boundaries, even if it means venturing into uncomfortable territory. I love them. It's pretty great.
No, I do love that brand of outlaw country. It's like my favorite of that genre, and this fits right in. There was a lot of songs about drinking in that country music vein that are fantastic, but I did really like this one a lot, and I hadn't heard it before, so this is a nice new gem.
Any song that's about whiskey or involves drinking whiskey somewhere, I almost like any one of those songs.
Thanks, Russ. It's a great pick. I do like a song with whiskey in it. That brings us to Jeff. Jeffro, what do you have on the regret side? What do you regret?
My song is Grandaddy's "Okay with My Decay" off of the 2003 record Someday, SUMDAY. Okay with My Decay, though, is, for me, I interpret it as a hangover song, and I think that there's a hangover feel to all of our songs, but my two songs are about, I have a hangover arc, and so I don't get, like, physically sick that hard when I'm hungover. My day, the following day, and this is after like some heavy drinking, right? Like some whiskey drinking. But then as soon as I wake up in the morning, I have what the Norwegians call fulla angst. They have a word for it because of Norwegian hard drinking culture. I learned this from my friend that I met in 2016. I went to Uppsala, Sweden for a work thing, and there were some people that had to come to like a dinner with me, and none of them really wanted to be there, but it ended up kind of being fun. And then we all ended up partying and going and doing like karaoke and stuff. And the next day, this woman that I've been friends with since, she was like, "I have fulla angst," and I was like, "What is?" She texted me that, and I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "It's the feeling of dread you have after a night of hard drinking, because you don't know if you said something or if you were inappropriate in any way." And so I'm just replaying it and trying to fill in all the gaps. And I was like, they have a whole word for that's genius.
Like, that would be a freaking awesome name for a band.
Yeah, fulla angst.
Fulla angst.
Yeah, the second part of the word is like angst, but that's the way they pronounce it. It's FYLLE angst, but they pronounce it fulla angst. But anyway, this is the song version of fulla angst to me. It's
yeah, it starts with them coming down, just like it's a come down from the beginning. So
yeah, I woke up Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday morning, which isn't great because you were partying on Friday night. To coming down, you know, but then he's coming to terms with this is Jason Lytle of Grandaddy's words, but he's coming to terms with it, and he's like, "I'm okay with my decay. I have no choice. I have no voice. I have no say." You know, tough one, but that's the way that I feel for the first hour or two after waking up after a night of hard drinking, is like coming to terms with, am I killing myself? Like, why am I doing this? You know, like my heart's racing. Like, I just feel like, what's the point of all this? You know,
hey, Jeff, sorry to interrupt, but we've got to do that thing, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had a lot of interest from sponsors lately, and being new to this, we're not really sure which one to choose, so we're going to try out different ones until we find the one that's the best fit for our pod. Okay, Jeff and Dave, will you do the ad read for the one Dixie gave you guys earlier? Go for it.
Yo, you're going to have to try my new goat cheese salad.
With roasted beets by Dre. Welcome to Nordstrom. Get your roasted beet salad by Dre. That's not at all how he talks. It's such a terrible...
It kind of is how he talks when he's rapping.
Is it?
He's like, when I'm on the mic, it's like a cookie. They all crumble. That's one of his lines. That song, too, it absolutely dominates.
What, you want to talk about guns because they ain't got none? What, you think I sold them all?
Maybe.
I love Dre.
No, seriously, let's just finish the copy.
You're right. Sorry, Russ. Roasted Beats by Dre. Going back to the roots.
Roots!
All right, this time This time, one more time, Dave. When I say roots, get right on top of it, like you're saying it while I'm saying it. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Roasted Beats by Dre. Going back to the roots.
Roots.
Dave, you didn't even. No, I thought you were gonna be on top of me, like a Beastie Boys, like getting the end of the line.
Right.
When I'm saying roots, you're saying roots.
Oh, got it.
We're gonna do 25 of these, aren't we?
Last one. We got this.
Here it goes. Roasted Beats by Dre. Going back to the roots.
Roots.
Our producer for this episode, Clee, is shaking her head no. Okay, that's cool. All right, Jeff. Thanks for the read, and let's get back to your second pick.
My second song is about the way that I feel after the Fula Angst leaves, and then I have about 5 or 6 hours of feeling better than I ever feel, which is a weird thing about my hangover. I have this period of complete anxiety-free living. Like, I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about getting any work done. I'm very present, and I just feel good, and things are funny. You know, it's this cool thing that happens. I don't know why. Maybe it's dehydration or like lack of oxygen or something, but like I just feel really good for a while. And the song that I think best embodies that feeling, and it does come with hope, is Elbow's Magnificent, which is off of their 2017 record Little Fictions. Elbow's led by a dude named Guy Garvey, who's probably my music leader. He has a show on BBC Six on Sundays that I listen to, etc. But it's just this excellent tune that he apparently wrote on his honeymoon, and it was in 2016, so the news was kind of weird then. It was Brexit, it was the rise of Trump, and so he and his wife, who's an actress that you've seen, named Rachel something, but they just were not paying attention to any news and trying to stay hopeful about things, and this was a song that he wrote with that in mind, and it's about a little girl standing on the beach and picking up a piece of glass and setting it as a sapphire in her mind, and there she stands throwing her arms around the world, and then it's like swelling, and then there's strings on top of this rock song with like a really good bass groove, and he's got a wonderful voice, and man, does it really like send you soaring like an eagle, this one, you know? So just a real good
voice.
Anytime I need to like,
what a voice on that guy.
Great voice, and he doesn't have to work for it, which is, he smokes and stuff. It's so annoying, but he can just sing, and he writes good lyrics too. He's a great lyricist, and he's a funny dude. But yeah, the song, like if I just need to feel better about things, like after a particularly dark few hours, this is the song, Magnificent.
Do you hear that Paul McCartney heard this when he was in the car dropping his grandkids off, and he heard the song on the radio, and he made everybody wait so it would finish, he could figure out who it was, and then he wrote Guy Garvey a note telling him how much he liked the song.
Shut up, dude. I didn't know that nice little gem.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
That is really cool. I told you that I think I told you guys this before, but when Elbow was recording their second record, or they had just put out their second record, Guy Garvey was in Paris, and they were like flying from one gig to the other, but he found out that John Cale, you know, the famous John Cale from the Velvet Underground and all this stuff, was in Paris at the same time. So he had one of his like friends or roadies or something take their second record to John Cale and hand deliver it, and he had written a very quick note on it like, John, big fans, I hope you have time to listen to this someday. And then fast forward, John Cale's doing this thing called Desert Island Discs, which is where you select the 10 tracks you would bring to a desert island, you know, if you were stranded. And an Elbow song from that record was on John Cale's top 10.
Whoa.
And so it like had come back around, and he was like, fuck yeah. Like, could you imagine how cool that would be?
That's fantastic.
Like famous musician with infinite knowledge of music chose your song. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like this band a lot. I know you've been a hardcore cheerleader for them for forever, and have recommended great tracks from them to me before, but I hadn't heard this record before or this song, and like it definitely grabbed me and said, okay, we're gonna listen to this whole thing, and that was my day.
Good, man. You listen to the whole album. It's good stuff, huh?
Yeah, I dig it, man. It's a good one. Let's move over to Russ. What's your hope pick this week?
My second pick, my hope pick, is called Serotonia by Highly Suspect.
And just again, Russ, just bringing the hardcore rock and roll to the show. So thank you for keeping us honest and keeping us a rock podcast, because it's just, without fail, I can count on you for that.
Yeah, well, I know. Which I think you guys don't really care for my music, and I apologize. I was going to ask you, actually, on the side note, should I just start changing my picks so it's better? Because I feel like you guys are like, oh, another one of his fucking songs. Okay, here we go.
Stop.
I think it adds diversity.
I think so too.
Okay, so I'm going.
I never have heard any of your picks.
I know. No one else. That's why it's like I'm sitting there trying to present, and no one ever interrupts me because they're like, "We don't know what to say about your fucking music, and you don't know what to say about your fucking music, you fucking loser." I heard an early cut of the Murder episode, listener. If we've recorded a bunch of these and they're coming out in different orders, I think, and Jeff's just like, "This song is not good, and those lyrics suck." And this sucks, and okay. And Dave's like, I'm like, wow, okay, all right, I'm done. See you guys later. It's painful to listen to.
Did I really say that?
Oh my god, dude, yeah, you murdered my picks. You just like fucking.
Wasn't I just fucking? Was I just fucking with you though?
No, because I never got to a laugh. It was just like, that's preposterous. This is some bullshit. I was like, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll just go to the next one. And then it was like, and this sucks, and this sucks. And then Dave's like, yeah, fuck that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'm done.
Just shitting on Rusty's picks.
Everybody laughed.
Sorry, dude.
Oh man, I kind of feel bad now. Yeah, jeez.
It's fine. All right, moving on. Serotonia by Highly Suspect explores themes of personal longing, feeling disconnected from others, and the desire for a fresh start. The lyrics convey a sense of dissatisfaction with one's current state of being, but also open to the possibility for redemption and self-acceptance. In the first verse, frontman Johnny Stevens expresses a wish for everyone he knows to be dead, symbolizing a desire to escape from expectations and pressures of social connections.
I like that one of the opening lines is that I just want to be naked and masturbate all day at home, and that really speaks to me. I'm right there. Yeah. Like, I get.
But I also was like, is this the Regret song? Did I misunderstand what?
Well, because it starts that way, it does. But I mean, I think because it captures a lot of different emotions. I think there's like the emotions of longing and alienation and, and yearning for a fresh start. And then, offering this glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. And so it's just like a story about leaving behind what you know and starting over fresh. The second verse continues the theme of longing for a new life, expressing a desire to live on top of the sunset and be part of Hollywood. The mention of Lana, potentially referring to singer Lana Del Rey, suggests a desire for companionship and validation from someone who embodies the glitz and allure of fame.
Yeah, I also get this real sort of desire to have things, being nostalgia. He has the whole verse about old California and dancing with Elizabeth Taylor and Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant, and he's like, I love New York, you made me who I am, but I don't, I'm not that great a person, kind of thing. So there's this whole element that I don't know, I think sometimes when you live somewhere and you feel like it's not going the way you want, that if you just change your locale, things will be, they'll improve. And it's just I don't feel like I've ever had success with that. I've never moved to a new city and then had my life be better.
So this album came out in 2016, and I can guarantee you it did not work out the way he wanted it to. So, but it ends with him acknowledging his flaws while still hopeful he can start over. Serotonia isn't just a song, it's a journey. and you feel like you've gone somewhere by the end of it.
All right, carry us home, Dave.
Yeah. All right, so my hopeful song, not from a very similar time. This actually came out in 2015, from the freaking masterpiece album by Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly. The song is All Right.
We gon' be all right.
Yes, it's just like such a freaking banger of a track, man. Like, so I think that like Pharrell produces this track, but he's not credited on the album. But he's the producer, and he actually sings the hook there, the chorus, and
yes.
and it's great, and it became this anthem that sort of in 2016 there was all of the the Black Lives Matter movement that came out of police brutality on black people, and it became this sort of soundtrack to this part of this movement. People were chanting it in the protests and stuff, and it starts with a line from The Color Purple. All my life I had to fight, and it's just this great song about like, there's this lyric where he's like, we fucked up, but if God's got us, then we're gonna be all right. And of course, white me is not going to do it any kind of service that Kendrick definitely does. And it's like, this record was so freaking powerful. It won a Pulitzer Prize, and it's, best rap album. I think this song is the best rap song, best rap performance at the Grammys that year. And it's just such a banger of a track that kind of just talks about how things are fucked up and things have been fucked up, and well, we got to trust the process. We got to like have the faith, keep the faith, and it's going to be all right. So I think it's a very hopeful song that flies in the face of all the atrocities that that Black Americans have had to overcome and are still fighting to overcome.
And it's a relentless track. I mean, it's like, just like feel like it's pounding, man. It's just going.
Yeah,
going.
100%.
He feels his voice kind of ragged, and just like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of emotion going behind it too.
He's just the best rapper. Yeah, Kendrick, man, there's something about the way that, I mean, first off, his flows are off the hook, and they're innovative rhythms inside of his flows. It's all like in meter, and it's musical, and he's just doing all of the stuff. And whereas like I feel like other rappers just do one thing, he can do all of the things at the same time, and that's why he's the goodest.
Yeah, no, it's not always that. Like, I feel like sometimes hip hop shows don't always deliver the same way that they do on the record, just because it's hard to replicate a lot of this stuff. But Kendrick closed ACL, I think in 2016, 2015 maybe. It was, I think we both agree, it's like the best hip hop show that we've ever seen. It was fan-freaking-tastic. Thanks so much for joining us for our first 4 episodes of Six Picks Music Club. We're really glad you made it this far. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with another 4 episodes for you, with the first being where we pull out our ween. And we talk about some of our favorite Ween tracks from their early Brown catalog and their later career less Brown tracks. This episode of Six Picks Music Club was produced by Clee Torres.
Clee Torres. This is my favorite part of the podcast.
Edited by Luke at Mayas.
At my house.
Special thanks as always to Dixie Wrecked. Oh, Jesus.